So I am continuing my talk with women who inspire me in 2013. So I am delighted to be talking to Miss Lucinda Cross, who is traveling the country and helping people activate their lives. How are you?
I'm fine, Nikki. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So let's just start off with a little background on you. Tell me a little bit about yourself and how you came about this passion for helping other people find their voices.
Okay, so I'm gonna make it short.
Okay.
Speakers talk a long time. So here it is. I know the struggles and the frustrations that I had trying to get my message out there and let people be aware of my business and my services, and just not having anyone open the door. And so what I decided to do is just open up my own doors and getting my message out there. And I said, wait a minute, this is the secret to success, okay? This is the millionaire mindset, is opening up your own doors and just showing up and showing out when you do. And so that's what I do. I help women take their message, basically service providers, take their message and help them to get it out there, whether it's in writing a book, whether it's in public speaking, but to just get and create their own platforms for success.
What do you think the biggest challenge is for women? I mean, once you start and you take them in hand, what is the biggest problem with people really, I guess, grasping their message and then getting it to the masses?
Because a lot of women, we have this superwoman type of syndrome. We feel like we need to save the world, and we kind of shift and shape and mold ourselves according to everybody else's problems. And so I do think a lack of clarity is one of the main reasons why a lot of women are not out there and using their voice in such a powerful way, is because they're too busy answering everybody else's bat signal.
I like
Yeah.
that. And it's true. I think that one of the biggest things that I find also in addition to that is people, like you said, are waiting for other people to open that door. But it's like we are in a time where you can do all of this yourself for virtually no cost.
Yes, absolutely. It doesn't cost anything. That's the gift that we have in writing and speaking. It doesn't cost you a thing to do it. I mean, our ancestors fought for us to be here to write and speak. So why are we not using that? We're using everything else, and so I had to learn to use my God-given talents to get my point across, to heal. They say the power is in the tongue, and that's absolutely the truth. And it's also in the pen.
That's very true. And so what do you say to women who say that I don't have a story to tell? That there's nothing that I've done or nothing that I've experienced that would be worth anybody paying for or listening to or reading?
We all have, and even that, I say there's a fortune in your frustration. Whatever really ticks you off. One of my clients, she's created boogie wipes.
She's
That's her
created what?
message. Boogie wipes.
You mean like boogie wipes?
Boogie wipes. And now she's in Babies R Us. She's in Walmart. Yeah, and basically it's a wipey. So that's her message out of her frustration of, having the sore nose and the red nose. And
Mm-hmm.
well, she created something, started to hand it out to other moms, and I mean, she's a millionaire now. So take whatever your frustration is. If it's your frustration is finding a man, use that. If your frustration is, too much starch, then, there's always a way to turn your message. We all have one. We're living and breathing. And monetize it and leverage that.
But and I guess that's probably the where you come in, and probably the biggest struggle for people, because you're right, we all have our pain, we all have our frustrations. But then how do you narrow it down and then package it and say this is something that people are going to want to spend money on?
That's the key. I'm gonna give you my secret.
Okay. We all lean a little bit closer.
Don't tell anyone. The person who's going to buy is the mini you. So you go back to when you were frustrated, you were stressed out. What were you waking up screaming and sweaty about in the midnight hour looking for? And that's what you create for the mini you, the people who are going through it. They're looking for a solution. And so a lot of times we feel like we've arrived to a certain level, but we're leaving so much money and the cash cow on the table because we're forgetting about the mini person that was once waking up screaming and sweaty about being broke but passionate, starting their business but no clients, so it's just really creating something you would want to buy.
Okay, so this is like one of the dangers when you tape at home. You hear the dog in the background.
So you hear the hotel
love it. It's like I need a cup of coffee, like I'm sitting in my living room. But you know what? I think that you have a good point, because it's like when you think, and I think about this a lot, because you talk to different groups of people, whether they be grade schoolers or women that have their own businesses, or if they're in college, or if they're just, they're at home, stay-at-home moms who are now looking for a way to supplement. And you just think about where they are, like you said, like where you were at the time where the biggest frustration was. That's a great way to look at it. I've never heard it said like that.
That's the secret. That
I can't believe he decided not to bark. So, okay, so once people have they've identified their message, they've identified their audience, or whoever wants the message, what is next then? I mean, for people who are not marketing gurus, they're not PR whizzes, what do you say and what do you suggest for people then, like I said, to deliver that message to the world?
the next thing is to get out there, and that's a lot of people's fear, is to step out there and to start talking to people, finding out what organizations are looking for your message, what cause is already out there. Let's not recreate the wheel. There's companies, there's organizations who are looking for people who have a message and something to say. There's the Safe Haven, there's domestic violence shelters, there's all kind of places that we can go. There's foster care system. There's so many places that we can go and share our message. That is just a matter of getting out there, knocking on some doors, and seeing who's in your neighborhood. You know that song, "Who Are the People in Your Neighborhood?" Well, we need to meet those people in our neighborhood because they're connected to a larger audience. They're connected to our next step in what we need to create.
And so I don't know what your background is, but I mean, I'm used to talking to people. I mean, I'm used to speaking to people, but even for me, I mean, it's different talking on the radio than as opposed to being in a room with a group of people. Do you have tips for how to get past people's public speaking fear?
Absolutely, yes. One of the things that I do, I kind of have to hype myself up.
Yeah.
As much as I speak, I still have to be
Yeah.
my own cheerleader. You turn on your music, turn on the music that'll soothe you. You have to set the mood for yourself to say, okay, let me pump myself up. I'm getting ready to do this. Rah, rah, rah. Tony Robbins says he does it all the time. He's screaming at himself. I'm jumping on the hotel bed. There's a lot going on in here
Yes.
before you see me on stage.
Right.
So if you have that stage fright, figure out how to set your mood, whether you need to have a cup of tea, whether you need to, just stretch or listen to some really hardcore music. Pick whatever works for you to pump you up to say, I got this. I love the Jennifer Hudson song. That's I got this. And I listen to that. I pump it up, throw on my heels, and I'm like, yeah, I'm ready now because it gets, you feel uncomfortable. You feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, mine is Eminem. It has to lose yourself. How strange is that from 8 Mile? But good tips. And I know that you and I will be in Houston on March 16th to help people activate their lives. But you travel the country doing this. So let people know how they can find out more information, not only about Houston, but other events.
Sure, they can definitely connect to me, and I have lots of inspiration on my page at
You really do.
lucindacross.com. Facebook, Lucinda Cross. Twitter, it's Lucinda Speaks. But to find out about these Activate Intensives and what the big deal about this is, go to activateyourlifeweekend.com, activateyourlifeweekend.com. But I would love to know who you are. Visit my site. Say hello. There's lots of great things there to just give you that extra step, that oomph that you need to go forward.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Lucinda. I will see you in Houston.
Yes, big Texas.
Yeah, we're going to do a big in Texas. So thank you so much. And